All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back here for another recap video. Today we traded OMH, DBGI, BMR, and a couple trades on BGLC and AULT. Finishing the day up about $1,100. So pretty decent day again today. Not a 3K day, but pretty decent day. 1K. About a month ago, I've had yet to make my first 1K day, and now here I'm doing it with just a couple of trades here on DBGI mostly. So we had a pretty decent move on DBGI. However, I made the bulk of my profit after about 10 a.m. So in this area here was where I made the bulk of my profits. I made a couple $100 in here, gave back a little bit. Or no, I made made a hundred or 200 here, and then gave it back in this area on this backside. And then as we curled back up, I was able to capitalize on that move. But there was, like every day, there is always a couple mistakes, here and there where we need to review and brush up on, and then as well as some key areas where I could have gotten in with bigger size. There was a lot of great trades. We're talking 50-cent trades on DBGI, and I was trading with 200 shares. So, in some of those areas where I could be beefing up that share size, today could have definitely been a 2 to 3K day. But I was able to put on some size in DBGI in some key areas to get to that 1K day today. I had up to 1,000 shares trading DBGI. And so that's a decent position size for a stock that's, around $10. I could go even higher than that, but also in those key areas where I sized down is where I need to improve on, because some of those areas had great trades, but I was only trading 200 shares, and I left a lot of money on the table. So we can review that in the live archive. Also, BMR here had that second day pop here over this previous pivot point here from after hours, and I didn't trade it. I usually don't like to trade day two gappers unless it's breaking new highs. So unless it's a continuation move through the high, I don't really like to trade day two gappers. That's just my preference. I will maybe think about in the future, trading, day two on the backside, but they tend to be a little bit more riskier. Breakouts tend to be tougher because you have that overhead resistance. So I didn't really trade BMR all that much. And then BGLC, I thought this had potential, and it did. It made a great move from $1 all the way up to $3.39, but I just couldn't trade it. It was just way too many halts, and I just was... you didn't have a lot of price action to really read the stock correctly. And, we just had a lot of halts, and then sometimes you had these halt downs, and you guys know my biggest ever losing trades are on catching dips on the halt down. So I stayed away from this, man. I stayed away from this because look at these halt resumptions. So from 220 resumes at 180 and then halting down again and resuming another 20 cents lower. Then this one here was a nasty one from 240, halts down, opens up at $1.80. That could have been nasty if I got caught in that. And those are my worst trades, catching dips in the halt downs. And then look at this, halt down, halt down, halt down, halt down. Like this is not my go-to type of price action. So I'm happy that I left the BGLC alone, because this thing would have drove me absolutely nuts. And I hate waiting for halts. So I'm glad that I left that alone. And, other than that, there was nothing really until DBGI started popping up over VWAP. And that's when I started to get a little bit more aggressive. And I made some decent profits here on DBGI. So we can review that. First, let's take a look at the statistics on the day. So we take a look here. Calendar's looking pretty decent. So here's my intraday P&L if you wanted to take a look. So kind of got a cushion early in the day. I was up like 250. Then I started to give it back. Gave back about half. And I was like, then it's like 10 a.m. and I'm like, I don't know. Like, are we gonna see anything today? Are we gonna see anything in my wheelhouse? And then DBGI pops up, and it's probably better to look at down here. DBGI pops up, and that's when I start making some decent gains. But I also had a couple mistakes in here. Like here's a $200 loss, $250 loss right here. Made it back relatively quick, but I had a couple mistakes today, and just like every day, there's going to be a couple areas where you can improve on, and every single day you want to find that spot, you want to find that gold nugget of area of improvement, just so you're aware of it, and look to make small, minute changes in your strategy, or just remembering it, staying mindful, remembering that same pattern that you may not perform well on, and apply that in the future. For example, I don't do good on dips on these tight halt bands. Whenever I see tight halt bands, I don't want to be buying dips or be getting aggressive on dips, because you guys know those are my worst trades. And another thing, just looking at volume profile, price action, candlestick formation. There's so many things, just to keep in mind when you're trading. So, if you find any area where you need to improve, every single day, try to find that and bring that moving forward. And day after day after day after day, and year after year, you're just going to get 10, 20, 50, 100 times better over the course of many years. But yeah, so that was my intraday P&L. We can take a look at the insights page. So crazy on the insights page. So when I first started this account, I was back in late 2020, and pretty much just like small size for a long time. So the yellow, I'm just gonna pull up the yellow. So the yellow is my day-to-day P&L. It's not cumulative, it's just my day-to-day. Okay, so it's just my day-to-day, and you can see I was a small size for a very long time. Then I started to have a little bit of breakthrough in 2022, mid-2022. Started to make $100 a day to a couple $100 a day in this area. And, I was stuck there for a good 2 years. For another year and a half, 2 years, I was stuck there for 2 years. And just recently having a nice breakthrough, having my first 1K day, having a decent red day, and then having that 3K day, and now another 1K day. So definitely signs that I'm showing improvement, and I'm turning a corner here into, next level of profitability. And it's a long road, Are you going to be able to stick it through all of these tough times? A lot of these times, just not having the experience necessary or the experience to capitalize on the momentum, and me, sitting at my desk thinking like, am I ever going to figure it out? Am I ever going to figure it out? Or sometimes, am I ever going to grow enough balls to actually, press that buy button with some size? And it really took me many years to be comfortable, and confident in my abilities to be able to size up. And that was my biggest challenge. And I'm still overcoming all the time, is my confidence with sizing up. Most people are opposite. Most people, when they start trading, it's opposite. It takes them 2 years or 3 years to even figure out how to make money. And then within a few months, they can scale it up from 100 shares to 10,000 shares. For me, I was profitable within 6 months. I would say within 6 months I was profitable. And then it took me 2 years from that point to scale up into a decent size, to produce some decent profits in the market. So, everyone's journey is different, and you can't compare yourself to others. Everyone's different. It has nothing. Sometimes it has nothing to do with the market. It has entirely to do with what your mindset and your weaknesses, your personal weaknesses, and trying to overcome those. For some, that's going to be learning how to be profitable. Some, that's going to be staying disciplined. Some of you, it's going to be emotional control. Some of that's going to be maybe trying to size up and getting confidence, like it was for me. But yeah, that was and now on the week, guess we can pull up for the week. We've still got 3 days left, but I'm up 4K in the week. So already, biggest week and biggest month of my career. So it's all going in the right direction. And again, this is years, 3-4 years of studying. 4 years of studying, 3.5 years of trading, to really get to this point. So it was not overnight. But definitely feeling a little bit more confident in myself, which is good. With trading, looks like my statistics are lining up, pretty decently. I'm getting comfortable with being able to cut the loss when I need to cut the loss, and when I see a good trade and see an A+ setup, I'm able to size into it. Whereas before I wouldn't be able to even identify an A+ setup if you showed it to me, and I would be trading on 50 shares instead of 1,000 or 2,000. But anyways, let's get into the live recording. We can take a look first at my statistics if anyone wants to look at the statistics for this day. Real quick here. I don't want to make this recap too long just because I know that I've had a lot of long recaps. Okay, this thing doesn't want to load, so we're going to scrap that, and then we're just going to go right into the live recording. I know you guys like the live recording. So I did update my live recording. In the bottom left, I have my P&L. So here on DBGI, I just want to note that I could tell that the opening range dips would not be very good, at least for how I trade it, because you could tell first 1 minute candle, it didn't have the surge of volume. So it looks like there's nothing trading right now on DBGI. It's like, where's the volume here? The volume is still low, and when you find the right stock that everyone's watching, this volume candle is going to be through the roof, absolutely through the roof. But look at the volume was crap, so I immediately switched over to something else. OMH is getting a little bit more volume, so I thought that this would be the one. So I'm trying to trade OMH here, and you can tell like the bid, the market makers were slacking. The market makers were slacking on this because they weren't properly making the market. So there just weren't enough buyers in that area on the bid. But I did try to catch a break of 6, took a loss, and then bought the dip here, made some of that loss back. So I'm sitting break even. You can see the bottom left is where my P&L is. Had a couple trades in here. Yeah, I'm like kind of small trades, up about 100 so far. And the whole idea is how I like to trade is I like to get a cushion on the day. So in the first 15 minutes, I want to get a cushion. If I can get up a couple $100, let's say first 5 or 10 minutes of the day, I want to try to get up to a couple $100. If I'm up to a couple $100, I can roll that profit into a bigger trade. Because if I'm already up a couple $100, it means that it could be a winning day. It could be another day where the odds are in my favor. And if the odds are in my favor, I want to roll that profit into a bigger trade so I can, grow my profit on the day in a risk-averse way. Because, if I'm only risking the profit I have on the day, I'm not risking all the way to max loss. So the last thing I want to do is, say the first 10 minutes of the day, I'm just going red. I'm down 50, then I'm down 100, then I'm down 150. I do not want to be sizing into that. I don't want to be tripling my size to try to make that back, or tripling my size because that's already showing me that the odds are not in my favor, at least right now. It could be for the rest of the day, but for at least right now, I'm going red. So unless I can start to trend back towards green, I want to keep that size small. But if I start off the day and I'm making, back-to-back green trades, I'm up $300-400, I want to roll that into another big trade, and then maybe I can get up to 1K, 1,500, 2K, And then I'm sitting real pretty on the day, and then I can kind of decide of whether or not I want to keep trading big. And it kind of puts me more in the driver's seat. It kind of puts me in the more of a driver's seat. I can be more selective if I want to, or I can be even more aggressive because I'm already up so much on the day. So it's different sort of strategies to kind of go about managing your risk on the day, not just in a trade, but in your P&L. Because you don't want to give back on one day multiple days of profit. You only want to give back at most one average green day. So that is one way that I'm able to kind of minimize my red days as much as possible. Just the size. I'm okay with having multiple small red days. I'd rather have multiple small red days than have one day to be 3x my average green day, because I gave myself, in the other situation, I gave myself 3 days to try to get green versus one day, and I'm completely blowing it out of the water. But anyways, let's get into DBGI. I still don't like it because the volume profile is still very low. It should be ripping, like this thing, like this should be like all the way down here, and this should be, ripping through the high. The volume's at, 150,000 shares. That's nothing. It needs to be over 1 million. So I don't like DBGI yet, so that's why I'm not getting aggressive. And then we have BGLC, with its halting action, which I don't like. I had a couple trades in here trying to catch the break of the pivot. And this is where I was up like 250. This is where I made my 250. And I'm still kind of skeptical. I'm waiting for strength. So I'm still kind of trading a little bit more passive on the size. Here could be a nice dip. Boom, right there in at 804 off of the $8 level. Okay, looks like we failed there. Then I get back in at the low of that candle for the bottom and tail in at 86, out at 90. And then we get that pop right back up. I had a nice 20-cent trade there. Wow. Well, let's back that up. So let's see here. So we had that bottom and tail. Are we going to retest the highs there? Okay, get in 500 shares at 821. And boom, out at 841. Quick $100 right there. Then I got back in at the high. And then I didn't immediately go. I thought this would be strong and go right up to the highs. And I guess I was a little bit wrong there, so I did take a small loss. Here is a very nice dip. Very beautiful dip here. So let's see if I get this. I don't quite remember. Okay, boom, I need to be in right here. Okay, boom, I'm in at 869,000 shares, out at 70. What am I doing? I had a great entry there. This could have been, oh my God, now I'm getting back in at 92. What are you doing? That could have been a 20-cent trade on 1,000 shares. That could have been another $200 right there. But I sold too soon, man. And then I'm getting back in at 92. Please don't tell me this is a loss. And I sell it for a loss. So a $30 loss right there. Okay, let's see if I can get back in here. See if I get back in. Man, I completely butchered that dip, man. That was a beautiful dip. Man. It's all right. I'm going to catch the next one. But at least I'm aware of it. At least I'm aware of my mistakes. And, just by being aware of it next time, I'll be able to iron that out and make sure I give it an extra couple seconds, because that's a decent dip. It's a decent dip. Now it's all the way back up at 831. Jesus Christ. So I'm in at 828, out at 834, decent scalp there. Maybe about another $20 or so. And some small trades in there. Okay, so that was it for this. Next mistake was right here. Looking for, I thought this would be a bear trap. I thought we'd get that dip below VWAP, and I thought this would reclaim and rip right through $9. So I thought this would be a bear trap because we also have that sort of head and shoulders pattern. So we have the reverse head and shoulders pattern. So here's the shoulder, here's the arm, here's the shoulder, here's the head, and here's forming that second shoulder. If we can bottom out here and curl right back up to the high, I thought that's what we could see. So I was thinking this could be a bear trap. And I think a lot of traders thought this. We also have that ascending support line crossing right in this area. A lot of traders got caught right here. So boom, okay, I see that bottoming tail. Okay, getting in, 762. All right, I want to see strength. Okay, add 500 shares. I want to see that red to green move. And then the candle comes back to the lows. This is my sign where I need to cut it. Looks like I already cut 500 shares at 49.52 for a 20-cent loss. So that was a $100 loss right there. And it's still holding 100 shares, down 40, so down another 40 bucks. So 140 bucks right there on that trade I lost. So, sometimes that happens. I had a decent thesis. I was there. If it did work out, I would have, added maybe for the break back over 8. And that could have been, $500, $600, $700 winner. And then we probably could have got another micro pullback under 9, maybe another $400 or $500 winner. And so for risking $140, I would take it. That was a good trade. I would have taken that again. I would take that trade, same exact trade again tomorrow, and tomorrow it might work out. So I wouldn't say it was a mistake actually, but it was just a good trade that didn't work out. So I wouldn't say it was a mistake at all. Okay, I gave another shot. I see the bottoming tail, but it just doesn't have that. Just don't have that juice, that thrusting off the lows. So cut it there. We started backside here. Okay, this recap's getting kind of long here. I did get caught in that flush there on OMH. I thought we'd see that retest of 6 and continuation move. We never got. Freaking BGLC going to the moon. And I'm like, I ain't trading this thing. I ain't trading this. This thing's, that's just playing with fire. Don't even want to touch it. Don't even want to touch it. All right, now we have DBGI curling back up. Once I see this, I'm like, all right, eyes on this. So you have increasing green volume, increasing buying volume. We're still under VWAP, so I'm still patient for the entries. But, okay, now we're back over VWAP. We're getting high of day volume, close to high of day volume over VWAP. Trapped shorts over 850. Let's say we have shorts. If you have shorts pre-market, you have shorts at open, they got their stops at $9 a share. That's likely, I'm thinking, their stops are right at 901, 902. If we can break 9, we can get a nice move. So, okay, so it kind of I'm waiting for a dip because it's very extended here. We just made a $3 a share move, so I'm waiting for a dip. So that's why I'm trading smaller size on this extension, because I know that it's a little bit risky buying towards these highs. And in at 921, out at 912, not a good trade there. Okay. Here's a dip, boom, right there, 86. Can we push? Nope. Out at break even. Back over 9, in at 902, selling at 905 or 904. So small trade there. I'm still only up 110 bucks on the day. So I haven't even made the bulk of my profit yet. Okay, here's the dip. Boom, right here. I need to be in with freaking 2K size. This is a beautiful dip right here. This is a beautiful dip. Oh my, and I'm only trading 200 shares. So look at this dip. Panic dip from 9 down to 8. I'm in 400 shares at 820. Beautiful entry, and selling that at 845. Nice 20-cent gain right there. But I'm only trading 400 shares. What am I doing? Oh my God, that needs to be at least 1K. And if I added twice, that'd be 2K size. That would have been a $400 winner. A 400, and that's an example of where I need those small areas, small trade, or not small trades, but those specific areas that are A plus setups, A plus dips that I need to be in with bigger size, not just 200 shares. So I would chalk that up as something that I can improve today, is getting in that area on some bigger size. And I'm still holding half of that position. And looks like I sell that around 8. I don't know why I didn't take it off. Okay, I took it off at 53. So decent trade there. Decent trade. I love it. Okay, so we're coming back towards the low. Now I'm in 500 shares. Now I'm trading 500. So break even there, 8 at 35, out at 43 there, off the low. Kind of just scalping the low of this candle. In at 30, out at 27. So small loss there. Are we gonna see the surge? Okay, we don't see the surge immediately. I'm trading 1,000 shares here. So break of 850. I didn't see the break of 850 immediately, so I got out. And we see buying again, so I'm back in at 68. And we don't quite push up that hard, so back out for break even. Okay, we're going to see another dip here. If we see another dip, we're still a little bit high on the dip, on the pullback. But we've seen it before, it hold and continue. So that's why I'm still trading. But I'd be okay if we see a bigger dip here, because also on the 5 minute, it is also a little bit extended as well. Here comes that dip here. Here comes that dip. Looks like it's holding the low of its own candle. In at 43, out at 46, okay. Okay, we're coming down. Okay, break of 8, break below 8, I want to see a dip. Boom, I want to see, so below 8, holding, you see it's already forming the bottoming tail. And we're holding the 90 and maybe a VWAP right under it. We can see a reclaim of 8. Boom, I'm in at 89, out at 801. Nice $60 trade right there. But I need to be trading bigger size right there. Back in at 8, out at 97. Back in at 85, out at 83. Okay, so we're dipping a little bit farther down than I thought. So get back in there at 70. Okay, is this the bottom? I think I found the bottom. Okay, in at 70, out at 80. Break back over 8. In at 93. Out at 87. Okay, not a break back over 8 yet. My strategy includes a lot of small losses. Back in for the break of 8, in at 95, out at 810, but I don't know why I sized down for that trade, but that was a 15-cent trade. And reclaiming back towards the highs, and this is where I'm getting a little bit, okay, break. It's getting a little aggressive here, so I am getting, trying to add into highs. I'm thinking that was an aggressive add into 9. We just had a $1.50 share balance, and I'm adding into the highs. I had to understand that I could take a loss there. Trying it again, 1,000 shares at 80, out at 81. Risky trading right here. Break at 9, in at 910, out at 920. Nah, man, I got a bad entry there. I got in at 910. I was trying to get in at 9. So I did not trade the best right here, but I am up about $500. Okay, back in at 99, back out at 94, so some small trades in there. Then, this breakout was very shaky. Let's see. Yeah, I completely butchered that one. Okay, then we go into the halt. Now I'll show you guys the halt resumption trade, and then we'll wrap it up. I know it's already been a 30-minute video. Okay, so the classic halt resumption, it looks like we're halting lower, opening lower. So, even if you do open lower, you could still try to catch the dip and the rip. In the strategy that I trade with the halt resumption, you can catch the dip and the rip either off the low and try to catch the dip trade, just to scalp off the low, or you could try to catch the break of the previous high, which would be 1082. So boom, we open lower. I think I buy right here for the dip, like we said, off the low, No, I didn't. Okay, I got in at 97 trying to get the break of 1082. Looks like it sold at the high there. Because usually it surges right through. So I got in at 97, out at 1058. So that was a crazy bounce from 9 to 1058. And I got a 60-cent trade right there. 200 shares. What am I doing? See, this is another area where I need to be trading 1,000 shares. That's another $600 trade right there. So it's another area. Okay, we dip down again. We dip down again. Boom. Okay. Okay, mistimed that one. Okay, that's okay. Now we're holding the low there. Holding the low. Okay, got to be in. Boom. Okay. And doesn't quite go yet, so maybe I mistimed it. So I'm waiting for that next signal. Okay. We're gonna dip. Oh. Doesn't know what it wants to do yet. Okay, dipping low here. Boom. I need to be in there. Right there, as it came down, hesitated, formed a bottom and tail. I'm getting in here at 1084. Boom, buyer stepping in at 84, out at 39. Another 50-cent trade, 200 shares, bro. What are you doing, man? It's another $500 trade. That could have been I could have been up 2 to 3K easy today. I don't know what I was doing. And then boom again, back through the high, 400 shares. Brother, what are you doing? In at 58, out at 1120 and 1087. Oh my God. If that was 1K shares, man. 1K shares, that would have been a nice another $500 trade. Could have been a 3-4K day, man. 3-4K day. And this is what I'm talking about. Some specific areas where I need to be keeping that size up. But we do get a continuation move. I do catch a dip down in here. This is also another 50-cent trade, I think. Boom, in at 1079 off the 9 EMA, out at 1018. There's only 100 shares, though. Yeah, in at 1079. In at 1088, out at 1118 and 1130. So from first entry to last exit, that's another 50-cent trade. What the freak, man? I need to be on big size. What am I doing? I had 4 50-cent trades, $2 a share. $2 a share. What am I doing? This is frustrating, but I'm gonna take the green today. I gotta remember a couple weeks ago. I've yet to had my 1K day, and here I am getting frustrated because I'm not trading bigger size, even though I already made 1K in the day. So definitely, got to count my blessings for today. But I do need to remember for, the next time we have some great opportunity, that's if I'm in a flow state and I'm making good profits, I'm making good progress, and the stock's giving great opportunity, I need to keep that size up. I was trading 1,000 shares down in here, but I sized down after the halt. After the halt. And, that was when the party was just getting started. So, if I could have kept that size up, which I will work on, moving forward, as my confidence also grows, I'm sure it'll get easier. A day like today could have been 3,000 or 4,000 and doing nothing else, but, keeping that size up that I was trading earlier in the day. So, that's it. That's pretty much it for the day. My P&L, if you see in the bottom left, up 1,100. So, pretty decent day today. The momentum overall was pretty good. I like the DBGI the best just because it had news. It was a low float, and it didn't have tight halt bands like that other stock. And BMR was already on day 2 off of sold off the highs. AULT is a penny stock I didn't really like too much, and ARBB didn't really hold up. So DBGI was the one for me today. But tomorrow we'll see what happens. Today I didn't think that we'd see another hot day, but who knows what's gonna happen tomorrow? I'm just gonna trade what we have in front of us. I'm not gonna get all too excited that I'm on a hot streak, because we never know what's gonna happen tomorrow. It could just get cold tomorrow, and I'm back to making only a couple $100 a day and just trying to be grateful for that. So just gotta count your blessings and trade the best of your ability with the market that you have in front of you, because you can't control what the market gives you. So all you can do is control your own performance. So if I can just come in tomorrow and just trade whatever I have to the best of my ability, I will be happy. So gonna study up. Hope you guys did well today. Hope you guys also study up. Check out the links down below. Join the Discord. Join Trade Journal. Like and subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. All right. Peace out.